In 2030, you might not own a car, you'll rent one by the month with features locked behind subscriptions. Miss a payment? Remote systems could immobilize it. Drive outside approved zones. Geofencing could shut it down. Try to sell it? Features you paid for might not transfer. This isn't dystopian fantasy. It's already happening in pieces. BMW tested charging $18 monthly for heated seats already installed in your car before customer backlash forced them to retreat. Mercedes offers $1,200 yearly to unlock acceleration you already own. Same motor, just software-limited power. Tesla once remotely removed Autopilot from a used Model S after resale, sparking outrage before they reversed course. The subscription trap isn't coming. Pieces of it exist right now, and manufacturers have built connectivity infrastructure into most new cars that enables remote control capabilities they're only beginning to exploit. Let's be clear about what's happening. Manufacturers are transforming cars from products you own into platforms they control. Most new vehicles include always-on connectivity through connected services systems. GM's OnStar launched this model decades ago, but now every major manufacturer runs similar telematics platforms that connect to their servers continuously. This infrastructure lets them activate, deactivate, or modify your car's features remotely, regardless of what you paid for up front. BMW's heated seat subscription wasn't a mistake they reversed because it was wrong. It was market testing. They launched it in select markets in 2022 at roughly $18 monthly. The backlash from customers and press was intense enough that by September 2023, BMW's sales chief admitted they'd ended the program, saying user acceptance isn't that high and people feel that they paid double. But here's what matters: the infrastructure remains. Every BMW built since 2020 has subscription-capable hardware waiting for activation whenever they decide to try again. Mercedes went further with their Acceleration Increase subscription for EQE and EQS electric models. Your car comes with specific motors, pay around $1,200 annually, and software unlocks 20% more power from the same hardware. Nothing physical changes. They're just holding horsepower hostage behind a paywall. You can also pay a one-time fee of around $2,500 to $4,000 to unlock it permanently. But the fact this exists reveals their strategy: monetize what's already installed. Tesla's 2020 incident with remote feature removal set a precedent that terrifies used car buyers. When a Model S sold at Tesla's own auction came with enhanced Autopilot and full self-driving worth $8,000, Tesla ran a remote audit days after the auction and flagged those features for removal. The third-party dealer who bought it didn't know, sold it to a customer named Alec, and only after a software update did the features disappear. Tesla eventually restored them after intense media pressure, blaming miscommunication, but the capability was demonstrated. Manufacturers can reach into your car remotely and change when it works. If this terrifies you, hit subscribe right now, because I'm about to reveal exactly how subscription creep is expanding across the industry and what it means for actual ownership. If discovering your car is being turned into a subscription service makes you furious, smash that subscribe button right now. This is information manufacturers don't want widely discussed, and every subscriber helps spread it. And help us reach 500,000 subscribers by using the hype feature below. It gives this content extra visibility to reach more American drivers who need to understand what's coming. Every hype especially helps in these first 24 hours. The shift from ownership to rental is happening feature by feature, and it's accelerating. BMW's Connected Drive services now includes real-time traffic, advanced voice control, and remote features, all requiring subscriptions after 3-year trial periods. You paid $2,500 for professional navigation when you bought the car. After 36 months, traffic updates stop unless you pay $85 yearly. The hardware works perfectly, the data exists. BMW just locks you out until you pay again. Volkswagen's CarNet follows the same model: remote climate control, parking location tracking, vehicle health reports, all subscription-based after trial periods. The most insulting part? They charge $120 yearly for features that use your data connection from your phone. You're paying for internet access twice. Once to your mobile carrier, once to Volkswagen to access functions your car already has. Mercedes MBUX system offers numerous subscription options ranging from $11 monthly upward, navigation updates, voice assistant upgrades, enhanced ambient lighting modes, features locked behind paywalls. Some owners report spending thousands over several years for software access on top of their initial purchase price. Toyota tested subscription-only remote start in 2021. Your key fob could start the car, hardware you own, but Toyota disabled it and made customers pay $8 monthly to access the function. After massive backlash, highlighted by consumer advocacy groups, they partially reversed course, but the precedent was set. Manufacturers will test how much they can extract. The industry sees massive revenue potential. While verified exact figures vary, management consulting firms and automotive analysts consistently project billions in annual subscription revenue by 2030 across the industry. That's money extracted from customers who've already paid $30,000 to $100,000 for vehicles. They're not offering new value. They're charging rent to access capabilities already built into cars you bought. But subscriptions for heated seats are just the visible tip. The real control mechanism is something far more invasive, and it's already installed in nearly every new American car. The most concerning element isn't today's subscriptions, it's the infrastructure that enables them. Every car with connected services, OnStar, Toyota Safety Connect, Ford Pass, BMW Connected Drive, has connectivity that can theoretically be expanded for other uses. Right now, these systems focus on emergency response, remote diagnostics, and convenience features, but manufacturers have layered additional telematics on top. These systems can do far more than call 911 when you crash. Modern connected cars can receive over-the-air software updates. Tesla pioneered this, but now Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, Ford, and others offer it. Updates can improve features, or they can remove them, as Tesla demonstrated in 2020. Your car's capabilities can change overnight based on decisions made at manufacturer headquarters. Some lease companies already use GPS-based geofencing to monitor contract compliance. If a leased vehicle crosses into prohibited regions, the system alerts the leasing company. While widespread immobilization isn't common, the technical capability exists in the connectivity infrastructure. GM's OnStar has demonstrated remote vehicle slowdown capabilities for law enforcement since 2009, and newer connected systems across all major manufacturers expand these remote intervention possibilities significantly. Several financing companies now include clauses permitting remote disabling for payment arrears. This is disclosed in contracts, and while rarely exercised according to available reports, it establishes that remote intervention for financial reasons is legally permissible in some contexts. The data your car collects isn't just sold for profit, it's leveraged for subscription enforcement and behavior modification. Progressive's Snapshot and similar telematics programs monitor driving through connected devices or manufacturer partnerships. Aggressive acceleration, late-night driving, harsh braking all factor into insurance pricing. The concern many consumer groups have raised: the discount for safe driving can function as a penalty system where normal driving costs more than traditional insurance. Some leasing companies implement mileage-based billing using GPS data. Your lease allows 10,000 miles yearly, but the car transmits exact mileage continuously, exceed limits, and billing adjusts automatically. Consumer groups have raised concerns about transparency and disputes in these systems. The insurance industry wants mandatory telematics. Major U.S. insurers have lobbied for telematics capability in all new vehicles, framing it as personalized pricing. Translation: they want manufacturer data, access to price risk, dynamically based on individual behavior. Your insurance premium could become a subscription that adjusts based on how, when, and where you drive. And here's where the pieces connect into something genuinely dystopian. When you combine remote control, subscription dependency, and constant surveillance, you get a future where car ownership means something completely different than it does today. Electric vehicles amplify subscription dependency because they lock you into manufacturer ecosystems for charging, battery management, and basic functionality. Tesla's supercharger network requires authentication through Tesla servers. If your account has issues, billing disputes, or if Tesla decides to deny access for any reason, you can't charge at superchargers. Your expensive car becomes dependent on a company's server infrastructure and their decisions about access. Volkswagen's ID series ties certain convenience features and over-the-air updates to active CarNet subscriptions, while manufacturers maintain that critical safety recalls remain free regardless of subscription status. The integration of software updates with paid services creates questions about long-term access for customers who cancel connectivity packages. Battery replacement on modern EVs often requires manufacturer authentication. The new battery must be paired to the vehicle through official systems before it functions properly. This isn't always a pure technical requirement. It's sometimes a business decision. Independent repair shops across the country report increasing difficulty replacing EV batteries because manufacturers tightly control the authentication systems, forcing customers back to authorized dealerships. Some EV financing and lease agreements now include remote control provisions. Contracts can give lenders authority to remotely limit range or disable charging for payment arrears. You could own a car with a rented heart that can be controlled remotely based on your account status. Federal policy isn't necessarily fighting this trend. In some cases, it's enabling infrastructure that could support it. The Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act includes key provisions promoting connected vehicle ecosystems and comprehensive data sharing frameworks. While framed around safety and emissions monitoring, the connectivity infrastructure these policies encourage could enable manufacturer control mechanisms. Policy discussions in 2024 to 2025 have explored connected vehicle frameworks that could eventually link registration, insurance, and emissions monitoring to active data connections. While not yet law, these concepts appear in federal and state policy papers. The stated justification is environmental and safety monitoring, but infrastructure built for those purposes could enable other uses. Distance-based road pricing is being piloted in several states. Oregon's Origo program, Utah's road usage charge, and California's pilot programs test systems that charge drivers per mile using vehicle GPS data. This requires continuous tracking and access to vehicle telemetry. Privacy protections are promised, but implementation varies. The direction is clear, even if implementation is uncertain. Connected, monitored vehicles with centralized data access. Whether that becomes subscription extraction mechanisms depends on regulatory choices that haven't fully been made yet. Let me paint a plausible picture based on current trends. This is speculation built on existing technology and announced corporate strategies, not guaranteed prediction. You might not buy cars, you'd subscribe to mobility packages. Instead of $40,000 purchase price, you'd pay $500 monthly with usage limits, 1,000-mile allowance, no cross-border travel without upgrades, geo-fenced to approved regions. Want more miles? Pay per mile fees. Want to drive into Canada or Mexico? Temporary geographical access upgrades. Missed payments and escalating responses could include feature deactivation before immobilization, first warnings, then non-essential feature locks like infotainment and climate control, then inability to start. Some theorize automated repossession, though this remains speculative. Independent repair could become practically impossible if all components require manufacturer authentication to function. Serialized parts that need official pairing to your VIN through proprietary systems. Labor costs triple because competition is eliminated through technical restrictions. Vehicle transfers could require manufacturer authorization and fees. Digital identity systems might not automatically transfer subscriptions. The next owner pays again or loses features permanently. Constant reporting could become normalized. Speed, location, driving behavior, all transmitted continuously for insurance pricing, road charging, and compliance monitoring. Privacy becomes obsolete because connectivity is legally required or practically necessary. This is one possible trajectory based on technologies and business models that exist today. Whether it happens depends on regulatory response and consumer resistance. But here's what manufacturers don't want you to know. None of this works if consumers refuse to accept it, and the resistance strategies are simpler than you think. This future isn't inevitable. It's engineered, and engineering can be challenged. Here's what preserves automotive freedom. Keep pre-connectivity vehicles running. The sweet spot is 2008 to 2015 cars with modern safety but minimal telematics, before widespread connected services, before extensive telematics, before remote control infrastructure. These are the last vehicles you truly own. No subscriptions, minimal surveillance. Maintenance costs are lower than subscription extraction over time. Scrutinize finance agreements for telemetry clauses. Many financing packages now include usage monitoring for risk assessment, giving lenders permanent data access. Choose credit unions or save to buy outright. True ownership includes privacy, support right-to-repair legislation. Massachusetts passed automotive right to repair in 2020, and the FTC has prioritized enforcement. Contact your representatives in Congress and state legislators. Sign petitions. Support organizations fighting for independent repair access. Breaking the repair monopoly breaks the subscription enforcement mechanism. Disable automatic updates when possible. Many vehicles allow declining OTA updates. Updates often reduce functionality, add subscription prompts, or enable new control systems. Your car works fine without manufacturer's latest software, especially if that software adds subscription requirements. Advocate for consumer data control standards. The fundamental battle is data ownership. If you control your car's data, not manufacturers, the subscription model collapses. Privacy advocates and consumer groups are pushing for this. Make your voice heard. The automotive industry learned from smartphones. Permanent revenue beats one-time sales. Apple makes more from services than hardware. Car manufacturers want the same. Sell access, never sell ownership, extract forever. But cars aren't phones. They're freedom machines, enabling work, family, autonomy, and independence. When cars become subscription services, freedom becomes a rental subject to corporate approval and constant monitoring. That's not progress. It's digital feudalism, where you pay perpetually for conditional permission to travel. They call it mobility as a service. Customers call it the reason I'm keeping my 20-year-old Toyota until it dissolves. The cruel irony: you'll still pay $35,000 to $70,000 up front. You'll just never actually own it. The subscription fees on top are pure profit, enabled by infrastructure you paid for in the purchase price. But here's the truth manufacturers don't want discussed. This only works if we accept it. Every subscription refused is revenue lost. Every repair law passed is a monopoly broken. Every old car maintained is defiance of planned obsolescence. They've built the infrastructure, but we don't have to use it on their terms. The real luxury in 2030 won't be horsepower or screens or autonomous features. It'll be ownership, privacy, a car that belongs to you, not to shareholders in Detroit or Silicon Valley. Freedom that doesn't require monthly payments and server authentication. Which car will you keep running to preserve actual ownership? Share your resistance stories below. Every refusal to comply makes their business model harder to enforce. And if this investigation convinced you that fighting for automotive ownership matters, subscribe now. Because when enough people understand what's at stake, the manufacturer's subscription future becomes much harder to build. They planned for you to own nothing. Let's prove them wrong.